has not happened. So this has not happened in a long time. But the video glitched. What I mean by glitch is that instead of saying 18 minutes and 40 seconds, it will just say 00. And on a day like this, that really pisses me off. Like, really pisses me off. Because I just wasted 20 minutes on a work night. It had been a weekend, and I had plenty of time, and when I'm that pissed, especially if I gave myself time. But I'm going to waste an hour, probably, over, like, in general. Waste about an hour doing this. So unfortunately, I'm gonna try and make this a quick video. Now, it's gonna be a blessing in disguise because I'm uploading this on Wednesday. Wednesday is the 29th. Yes. And then the 30th, I'll probably end up doing all the comics I got this month video. If the books come in by then, hopefully they will. Or maybe just what I got so far. So either way, that'll be on the 30th. But hopefully they all come in. And then the 31st, it will be, if I can do it, all the Image comics I read this month. I doubt it, which is kind of annoying because November 1st will be the complete October 2025 haul. Again, supposing all the comics come in before then. I'm waiting on 2 books. One of them hasn't even shipped. It's a pre-order from Amazon, so they like to abuse me sometimes, most of the time. And the other one is from my comic shop, which from all the third-party sellers, yeah, so it says ordered. Of all the third-party sellers, they're kind of the worst. And I'm talking in general, all the third-party sellers. And it's not their fault. I don't blame themselves. I just blame the fact that they're economy shipping. Like, everyone else is standard shipping. In the year of our Lord, 2025, you're still doing economy shipping. I don't know. Maybe they're down in luck, and that's why I don't blame them. Let's see what they are right now. It's still the same place, and yes, it is. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to put these back on the other side. The good thing about it is I did kind of go on tangents. Like, honestly, that video should have been 10 minutes, not 18 minutes. Alright, so before I get into the review of Scalped, it's a little precursor, just in case you guys missed it, just in case you guys did not watch the videos or I mentioned it before again. Like how everyone's comic, every comic is someone's first comic, every YouTube video is someone's first YouTube video of mine. So, a little preface to this one is that the longest time my local library was not able to interloan volumes 9 and 10 of Scalped. I don't know why, they just weren't able to. And honestly, I wonder if the last time they said not available, I was too stupid and didn't think to look it up on their new catalog. The library has 2 catalogs. The first one is worse than the other one. The first one is called Interlibrary Loan, and that's the worst one because it's old. It's an old system. And so great way of explaining it is I put in 21 books this time. 21 requests. 8 of them come through as not available, not available, not available, not available. It's weird because it shows it right there on the catalog, and like any other, no way of knowing if they don't have it. Like, it's like, how? I don't know why. I have a few theories. Like, maybe the library no longer does intro loans because of the pandemic. Maybe the library went out of business. They say can't get rid of the book on there. Like they can't get rid of the code, I guess you could say. I guess you'd call it. Actually, it probably is code. It's probably one of those things. They gotta get a tech guy in there and then make the system, and then put the system offline for a few hours or a day, so the guy can just get rid of everything that's officially not available. Now, sometimes that's kind of something to do, as we'll soon see at the book here, but the new system is much better. And the new system did have volumes 9 and 10, so I finally got to finish Scalped, and it is my top 5. Officially my top 5. I can say that officially. I had no doubt this would be my top 5 because I read the first 4 hardcovers for the first 8 volumes, softcover volumes, first 8, and, you know, it's 80% of the book, so I could safely say, yes, it was probably going to be top 5, and it definitely is top 5. It was like, Vertigo is untouched. I sing the praises of Image, but really it's Vertigo. And Vertigo paved the way for Image Comics, obviously. But I'm talking like not just Sandman and Watchmen, which I know it's not Vertigo, but you kind of consider to be Vertigo. But then you have books like Preacher and Scalp, are just great on their own right, in their own right. Sandman, if I did a ranking of all the Vertigo comics I've read and ranked them worst to best, Sandman would be closer to the middle than towards the best. And that's because I'm very mixed on Sandman. Again, like I said before, the perfect way to explain it is I love Volume 5. Volume 5 gave me everything I wanted in Sandman. Volume 6 gives me everything I don't like about Sandman. So Volume 5 is like honestly perfect Sandman in my opinion. And Volume 6 is... This is why I don't like Sandman, and I just handsome on Volume 6. Now, I did like the last issue that's in there, the Orpheus story. That was really good for like an old-timey fable / tall tale kind of story, like the ones that you learn in school, but they modernize, like the Grimm's fairy tales. That's how it felt like. But of course, with the Vertigo touch of being for mature audiences. I mean, it involves a severed head, so you kind of can't make that for kids. Anyways... Scalped is a masterpiece as it sits on the back here, and it's 100% true. Jason Aaron's magnum opus. 10 out of 10, a must read. So it was ironic as I was also reading for school, because I work as a, for those who don't know, I work as a para-educator, so I have to read the books along with the kids so I can teach them, whatever. And we're reading we just finished reading the part-time Indian, how's it go? The absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian. And that also deals with Indian reservations. So does this. This is like the grown-up version of that. Where that is a young adult version of this. But yes, absolute masterpiece. 10 out of 10, a must-read. Like, I cannot sing the praises of that for this book. It is definitely more... I'd say it's even darker and more grisly than... Preacher is. Like, Preacher at least has some comedic moments in it, a lot of darkly comedic moments in it, and this one really does not. It's a lot of just grimy, dark crime shit. Like, everything we expect from crime comics is in here. But with that added res touch, which I really appreciated. I didn't get the culture down, too. I never felt like it was... Like, Jason Aaron definitely did his homework to make it as authentic as he possibly could. And it works out immensely. Works out perfectly. Dracula Motherfucker by Alex de Campi. Alex de Campi is well known recently for the murder of Ed Piscor. Yes, I am one of the people that says she murdered Ed Piscor. In general, if you bully someone to suicide, you are a murderer. People have been jailed for bullying other people into committing suicide. And the fact that Alex de Campi received next to nothing, if anything, her bully buddies, did a therapy circle, if anything, around her, and not around Ed Piscor. Which is just great to hear, and also great my dog fucking barks. But Dracula Motherfucker is a great way of explaining why I like Alex de Campi's work. Because this isn't perfect, far from it, it's not even that great. Nothing I've read by Alex de Campi has been above a 7 out of 10. And the 7 out of 10s include this and No Mercy. I've not read anything by her I've absolutely hated either. She's just slightly above average writer. It keeps my interest. This was 64 is 72 pages. I don't know exactly how many pages this was. And it felt like nothing to read this. And that's a little bit more than your average comic book size, for those of you who don't know comics. But this felt like it was like a slightly oversized, like the annuals, the annuals that Marvel Comics does. That's what this felt like in length. But even then, that's kind of pushing it, because this was impeccably perfect pacing. That's the best praise I'll give this book. It's also very interesting, kept my interest throughout, very investing, and the artwork was actually really good. And the artist here is the Squirrel Girl artist, Erica Henderson. So that says a lot. But just all around a decent book. A perfect 7 out of 10 book. Nothing groundbreaking, but if you have an hour to kill if you, and I honestly say not even an hour, but if you have an hour to kill, if you're on a long road trip, and you're not the driver, obviously, and you somehow have this as the only read, instead of ignoring it, I would actually recommend picking it up and giving it a try. If you see it at a local library and it's around Halloween and you want to read something slightly spooky, then read this one. You could definitely go get worse than this. What's it go? I would say go wrong, but you definitely go more wrong. I don't know, but you definitely read worse comics than this. Yeah, it's the go wrong is a lot better, or the whatever that word is. I don't know, but definitely not anything groundbreaking. Again, 7 out of 10, nothing above or below that. Silk Hills, forgettable, boring, and slightly disappointing. And this was the one that the library said, we don't have it. The Interlone librarian tried again. He said, oh wait, we do have it. We'll ship it out to you. They did. And I was very excited. So that's where the disappointment comes in. But really just slight. Had it not been for that, had it come in right away, then there would be really no disappointment here, because I had no expectations going in. I knew nothing about this series, about this graphic novel going in, other than who it was written by. And it's written by Rat Queen's writer, Ryan Ferrier. But it's also co-written by Brian Level. And sometimes when they co-write, I know one of the writers, not the other, and it ends up being a disappointment. Much like Genius, I'm like, I wonder if it was the other writer. I wonder if the other writer had more influence than the main writer did. So Mark Bernardin and Adam Freeman write Genius. I didn't think Genius was all that great, and I wonder if it was Adam Freeman's fault and not Mark Bernardin's fault. I could be wrong. I know co-author usually means it was just the both of them throwing ideas, and one writes the script and one does the story. Sometimes that happens. But there was no specifications for Genius and no specifications here for Silk Hills. Just they both have writing credits. But yeah, very disappointing. I would say a 4 out of 10 is, 4 out of 10. A lot of what I like about this book is the visuals. Some honestly really creepy artwork. However, it's also very inconsistent artwork. And almost felt like the artist here who is... Actually, writer, actually a girl. No, it's like rank. So Cake, really, brain? Kate Sharon is the artist here, right? He's gonna do this. Okay, is it first page? Is it first page? No. This page? Yes. Illustrated by Kate Sharon, and then whatever. Okay, so Kate Sharon's the illustrator. So it was almost like Kate was told to write the whole entire series in one sitting, or she just likes writing all of it in one sitting. Like she's not a procrastinator in the slightest. Wants to get it all done ASAP, because like some will be like this really creepy artwork, and other times they'll do the facial expressions for the characters, and it's laughably bad. Like just not that proportions don't make sense, just that like everything in general doesn't make sense. Like it's not, like it's almost like I had to look at it again to see what I was. Oh, it's a person, and it's like, okay, it's when they do the lips, it's like almost like it was overlapping the mouth. It was really weird. I can't find it, unfortunately. I think it was towards the middle, but I can't be sure. But you have some, again, honestly, really creepy artwork, and then you have the really weird artwork that I don't think they're going for anything here. So here's the kind of creepy artwork right there. Like this whole page, honestly. And it was really unique too. Like I'll remember the visuals. When I see a deer out in the wild, maybe not right away I'll think about this comic, but it'll come to me quicker than you expect it to. When I say it's forgettable. But yeah, if it hadn't been for the visuals, this would not be as I would not give this one as nearly as high praise as I'm giving it, because again, that pacing was just awful. It took me 2 days to read this, and even that was a struggle. And that was like two different instances. So it was late last thing at night each day, I would say. Definitely the first day. And it wasn't because it was too late or anything like that. No, it was just it was a bit late, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't read any more of this. we're gonna take a break. Okay, I'm trying to find it. I'll know it when I see it. And it was really just that part and other parts like that. So it was like maybe like 20 pages in general, where the artwork was really just inconsistent. And it's like, it was just the same artist. I'd understand if it wasn't. I don't know. It's also like it's also one of those books I feel like I would give this a 7 or even an 8 out of 10, possibly even a 9 out of 10, had there been a rewrite. This desperately needed one more draft, and it would have gone up from a 4 out of 10 to at least an 8 out of 10. Because again, a lot of potential in this story, and in this book, this unique story, the pacing that it could have been, potentially could have been, but what it already had was a pretty unique story with pretty unique visuals. But again, the pacing and the writing were just naff. So, again, 4 out of 10 for Still Kills. The Filth is peak Grant Morrison. If you're a Grant Morrison fan, you somehow have not checked this one out, definitely check this one out. It's not going to sway anybody who is not already, who is not a fan of Grant Morrison. Because it has all of his tropes in here, all of his weird, like, just strange, out there ideas are thrown into here, and all of them fit, and all of them work for a story like this. It is strange, it makes no sense half the time, but I love it. I'm a huge Grant Morrison fan. I've not read anything by him I've absolutely hated. The closest we get is Final Crisis, and even then, I think it's worthy of a reread. But this is absolutely phenomenal. Like, this I really do like. But I say absolutely phenomenal, but I'll still give it an 8 out of 10, because there are some minor pacing issues, and it's not as good as his best work, but definitely worth checking out, like, through and through. And also, I've read this so many times that I noticed this time around, no Dust Jacket. Ultimate X-Men is an ultimate disappointment. Everything people don't like about the Ultimate comics is present here. Just awful pacing, extremely wordy dialogue, and just all around pretty bad pacing. Sometimes it's good. I like the last issue. Like, the last issue reminded me a lot of the movies, and if they're going for that, then great. But it's not that fantastic of a book. I wish they could find there's Fantastic Four, so I could do a pun there. There is an Ultimate Fantastic Four, but obviously it's not it. But so technically I can make a joke, but that doesn't work there. But yeah, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Disappointment. Now this series was good. I really liked Volume 1, The Tomorrow People, and I'm overall mixed on Ultimate X-Men. Because Volume 1 was really good, Volume 2 was a bit of a disappointment, Volumes 3 and 4 were really good, but Volumes 5 and 6 are not that great. And this is the end of Mark Millar's run on Ultimate X-Men. And it's crazy to me to still think about that. This is Mark Millar of Kick-Ass, Kingsman, Old Man Logan, Civil War fame. Like, he's written so many comics I've absolutely adored, ate up, like it was the best meal ever. And he does deliver every time I've read his stuff. Except for Ultimate X-Men and Ultimates. So he's writing Ultimates at the same time, which have a crossover with Ultimate War, and it's very disappointing, and it's just a mess. So it's crazy that was the same guy that was writing Ultimates, writing Ultimate X-Men, and it's yin and yang for how I feel about this series as a whole. As a whole, I love the Ultimates. It's like peak Ultimate Universe. Just peak Ultimate Universe. Comics. And finally, last but not least at all, is Paper Girls. My top 5 comics of all time. One of those comics that just so many crazy things happen that it's required that I read this once a year so I can... It's kind of like how the license will expire from Marvel movies if they don't make a Fantastic Four or Spider-Man movie within 5 years. I feel like I have to renew my license for my top 5. I have to read Paper Girls at least once a year. Same with Sin City, Preacher, and all the others. Although Wicked and Divine, it's been a long time since I read that. Same with Sin City. So top 5 of those of you who don't know is Preacher, Sin City, Scalped, Wictive, and this, Paper Girls. Walking Dead, honestly, Walking Dead is number 6. A lot of what I don't like about Walking Dead is that it's, even for the story, it's a bit too grimdark. It's kind of one of those things that every single character has to have the most harrowing backstory, or the most harrowing things happen to them as the story progresses. Like, just pretty ugly. Honestly, it's a perfect way to describe Walking Dead, but extremely investing and very well written. It's something that I noticed before someone pointed it out to me, and once they did, I was like, yeah, I agree. But Paper Girls, again, not Mark Millar's, Brian K. Vaughan's magnum opus. This is absolutely fantastic. I like it even more than Why the Last Man, which is absolute blasphemy, I know. But it's also just like, this is just a page turner. This is one of those, this is the closest I've gotten in not a long time, but one of the closest examples to a could not put it down type of read for me. It's very rare that it happens to this degree. Realize that I said to this degree that it happened with. But this and Runaways was also written by Brian K. Vaughan. Are those books I just cannot put down. Like, I still remember to this day. Same with Paper Girls too. And also Runaways. I would finish one issue. There'd be a huge cliffhanger. And I'd be so tempted to read the next issue. Next issue. And I think with Runaways I did. Like, Runaways, I think at one time I was literally reading it back to back to back. And Paper Girls, the last time I read Paper Girls, I rented the compendium from the local library. So I owned the compendium, because I know that's a perfect one for me to buy, perfect edition of Paper Girls for me to purchase, because the compendium is $30, and this is $34 each. That's all one. So it's like, and the compendium is fine. It's 30 issues, so it's like it's 800 pages. So less likely for it to fall apart under its own weight, as maybe Spawn does, or, I hate to say it, but Invincible. Invincible has a bigger chance, and Saga too. All those books have a better chance of falling apart because there's more pages to those compendiums. Not as much as, not much more for Saga, but Invincible is 1,100. Saga, I think, is like only a little bit above 1,000. But so when I was reading the compendium, I was like, I have to return this by a certain time, and I'm going to keep renewing it. So I'm just going to read it back to back to back. And I think at that point I couldn't renew it. And there was a superstar there too. But I think that's what happened. I think it was one of those things. Can't renew it. Now, that happens sometimes with the local library. Just highly sought after item. You can't renew it. I actually rented a movie I had to watch this weekend, and I just got today. I have to watch this weekend so I can return it for November 3rd. Yes, I do wish I had this week off, and or I got that movie when I was on vacation, because I had to watch it tonight. But I can't, because it's a school night, a work night. I work at school, so I always say school night sometimes. I hate that too. That makes me sound so young, but whatever. I already look like I'm 5 years younger than I actually am. But anyways, Paper Girl is an absolute standout. I think I've sung its praises enough. But as I was saying, if I forgot to mention it, I'm sure I didn't. But just to recap, it is so good that when I rented the compendium, I was bringing it back to back. I had to, and I had no problem doing that whatsoever. That's how good Paper Girls is. Top 5 material, 10 out of 10. That, as I say, is that. Hopefully this version of the video does not crash on me, and it's longer than the actual other one was. Perfect.